What is going on, guys? What is going on? It is All Things Mets Media, and we are live, baby. Let's talk some Mets baseball. Let's get into, what I'm saying, a whole bunch of topics. Let's talk some Mets baseball. This is pregame live. Let's talk some Mets baseball. Let's talk about the lineup today. We got a really good lineup today. I like the lineup so far. We got Beatty in the lineup. We got Alvarez in the lineup. This is exciting. This is an exciting time to be a Mets fan. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Mets pregame live. Let's talk some Mets baseball. Comment. Let's just get into it. Definitely interact. Let me know how you guys are feeling. How you guys feeling about Mets baseball? How you guys feeling about what is going on with just in general the Mets? Because I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, man, I'm so excited for Mets baseball. Definitely tonight. Tonight's pregame. Definitely Tyler McGill is going to be on the mound. We got Tyler McGill, we got Ross, Stripling, Michael Conforto, Pete Alonso. It's going to be a good battle. This is the last game between the Mets and the Giants. They took the first two. Really good showing by Pete Alonso in those first two games. Last night's game, Pete Alonso didn't do so well, but at the end of the day, Beatty got 2 hits, so that looked good too. I'm excited. I'm just excited, So, well, guys, also Tyler McGill is coming in 3-0 on this season. He's been pitching pretty okay. He's been pitching pretty okay baseball. Getting out of jams. For some reason he gives up a 2-run homer. But yeah, man. Let's talk some Mets baseball. So let's get into the lineup for the New York Mets here. Let's get into the lineup right here. And coming in with this lineup tonight, we have Brandon Nimmo leading off, playing center field. You got to love to see it. You love Brandon Nimmo. What a start to the season that Brandon Nimmo is having. It's really, really exciting for Brandon Nimmo. It looks really good that he is having a really good season. I love what he has done so far. He's not trying to hit home runs. He's trying to hit the ball opposite field. He's trying to do a whole bunch of things. But Brandon Nimmo, this is the Brandon Nimmo that, the Mets signed for, Brandon Nimmo that gets on base, that hits for extra bases, that, doesn't need to hit home runs. But when he does, it can be very effective and very good for the New York Mets. So I love Brandon Nimmo. I love what he brings to the table, and yeah, you got to have him as your leadoff hitter here. Starling Marte, right field, back in the lineup last night. He got a hit last night, RBI single. Starling Marte, I love Starling Marte. What he brings to the table, his speed, he's really the fact that he's been injured lately, injury prone lately. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream if you're new. Definitely want to talk some Mets baseball. Let me know how you guys are feeling about Mets baseball. Let me know, guys, how are you feeling about the Mets versus the Giants? I am excited. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a big game. The Mets took the first two games. Pete Alonso was on fire. You got to love to see it. Brandon Nimmo has been on fire as well. Beatty has actually gotten a couple of hits and he's earned this, he earned the call up, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Beatty. As a fan of the Mets, you gotta love to see Beatty, succeed. You gotta play the kids. Francisco Alvarez. I'm excited to see Francisco Alvarez in the lineup as well. Just having Francisco lineup, Alvarez, his exit velocity has been on point this season, but he just hasn't really got the big hits. He hasn't got the home runs. He hasn't got the doubles. He's facing major league pitching, which I want him to face. I'm excited that he's facing major league pitching. So, yeah, man, let's talk some Mets baseball. Let's get into, most of this lineup here. But, man, Brandon Nimmo, you got leading off. You got to love to see it. Brandon Nimmo has been on fire. You got Starling Marte hitting second. You got Lindor. Lindor has been, back and forth, not really struggling, but kind of a little bit struggling. But listen, you got Alonso on fire, raking the ball, destroying the ball, has one of the, what's he got, 9 home runs or 10 home runs or something like that. You can't ask for what Alonso is doing right now. It's just amazing what he's doing. You got McNeil playing, left field today, actually. So with Marte, back in the lineup, you kind of surprised to see McNeil at left field, but Guillorme has been playing so well that you gotta have Guillorme in the lineup. So the fact that he's number two, that's what you like to see. Guillorme brings, great defense. He can hit the ball, so he deserves to play second base tonight. And I'm excited for Guillorme. Escobar, got that big home run for the New York Mets, in that last game, but he still hasn't earned regular playing time because he's just been struggling the whole season. So you got Vogelback, who's actually been pretty hitting the ball well in that stadium in AT&T Park. Definitely Vogelback has been, really hitting the ball very well, and good for Vogelback because he needs to, have some Mets fans on his side. He needs to produce. Once he produces, the Mets fans are going to be on his side for sure. If Vogelback hits home runs, if Vogelback does what, we traded him to do, if he hits doubles, if he hits singles, if he hits for power, gets a lot of RBIs, that's what you want to see from Vogelback. So, yeah. So coming in at number 7, we got Beatty, Brett Beatty playing third base. That, like I said, he earned the call up. He got 2 hits last night. He's been hitting the ball well. I love what I see from Beatty. What I love about Beatty is he can pull the ball, he can hit the ball opposite field, but he's just pretty smart hitter. So that's what I like about Beatty. He's advanced at the plate. He has a patient approach. The discipline is really, really good. So that's what you got to love to see. And you got Francisco Alvarez back in the lineup tonight, catching McGill. You love to see Francisco Alvarez. I think Francisco Alvarez just needs that one game to explode. One game, either it's going to be a home run or a double or something. He had one game that he was 2 for 3, 2 for 4 maybe, with 2 singles. But Francisco Alvarez, I think he's going to, hopefully learn major league pitching. It looks like he's not, striking out as much. And that's what you want to see from Francisco Alvarez. You don't want to see him striking out like crazy and chasing. So if Francisco Alvarez is more patient at the plate and he's hitting for more power, that's what you want to see from Francisco Alvarez. But catching wise, he's been pretty good lately. Not a lot of people have stolen bases on him lately in those last 2 games. So I'm excited for Alvarez. And Guillorme, like I said, he deserves to play second base for the New York Mets, man. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited about this game. Let's get into, how are we feeling about Tylor Megill? Tylor Megill, coming in at 3-0 on this season. It seems that at first he struggles with the ball. He struggles, that first inning, they hit a home run. That one game against the Padres, Soto hit a 2-run bomb, and then the Padres didn't score anything after that. So what I love about Tylor Megill is his stuff, his breaking pitches is, he's working on it. He's working on that curveball. He's working on that slider. He has a pretty good changeup, but he just has to work on it. He has to, be efficient with it. And, that curveball from Tylor Megill, I don't think that he should throw that in big situations because it's getting crushed. It's getting crushed. In his last start, it got crushed. And yeah, so Tylor Megill, man, I think he should just stick to his fastball, stick to his, changeup, stick to his slider. And that curveball, you could, pitch what Max Scherzer does. Max Scherzer does not pitch that curveball every single time. He throws it like 0-0 for the first pitch of the at bat or something like that. So that's what you want to see from, Tylor Megill. You want to see him being successful. You want to see him, actually pitching really good. And, he's 3-0. He's been successful in these last starts. He hasn't lost one game. So hopefully he doesn't lose tonight. This is going to be a big, big game for the New York Mets. With the Braves losing tonight as well today, the Mets got to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? You got to take advantage of the situation. But yeah, man. But let's get into, over here. Let's get into Beatty hitting major league pitching so far. Brett Beatty, guys. I love what Brett Beatty has done. I love that, he struggled a little bit, but he's not losing confidence in himself. He's not losing confidence in the ability to hit for opposite power, opposite field. He doesn't need to pull the ball. He doesn't need to, hit home runs. He doesn't need that pressure, within the situation. So what I love about Beatty is that he can take the ball opposite field, and his defense has been pretty okay. I know he made an error the other day. So Beatty just has to work on his defense. He's never gonna be a Nolan Arenado at third base. He's just not. It's just not gonna happen. But Brett Beatty, I think he can just work on his defense, get better, and hopefully, at the end of the day, Beatty can get better, just like Pete Alonso, because Pete Alonso was not a good defensive first baseman, but he has worked so hard to get better. So that's what you want to see from guys like Brett Beatty that aren't great defensively, but pretty good offensively. You want to see him work more on that defense. You want to see him hit more home runs as well. You want to see him get extra bases, of course. And that's gonna come. Brett Beatty's a big kid. He has power. I think he had 4 home runs in AAA. To start the season. So Brett Beatty has power. It's not like he doesn't have power. But he's a pretty a good hitter. What he does is he can hit opposite field. He can pull the ball. But that's what you gotta love to see from Brett Beatty. And I love Brett Beatty. I love that the Mets are giving Brett Beatty a chance to play in 2023 because this is his time. Escobar, we signed for 2 years, was supposed to be a bridge for the situation. So at the end of the day, you want Brett Beatty to be successful, but like I said, those 2 last hits that he got, those were good 2 hits. So definitely. Now let's get into any concerns with the offense and the New York Mets. The offense, guys. The offense is. Are there concerns with the New York Mets offense? Of course there is. Of course there is, because Brett Beatty, you don't know what he's gonna be. Daniel Vogelback, you don't know what he's gonna, be. You don't know if he's gonna be better this season. You don't know if he's gonna struggle more like he did, in the last year. But I say this, man. Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor have to perform again this season. Have to be, Pete Alonso was great offensively last year, but he's off to a tear this season. With 9 home runs, got one of the most RBIs in the major league. So I love what the Mets offense is so far because of the potential of Beatty as well can add to the offense, and Francisco Alvarez can add to the offense. I just want Francisco Alvarez to get that 1-1 game where he can hit like 1 home run and gain that confidence at the major league level, because Francisco Alvarez is very, very talented. He's hit 20 something home runs in, I think, last year with AAA. And, he got the call up, but when Francisco Alvarez got the call up, he just wasn't ready for major league pitching because he hasn't faced major league pitching. And not every rookie can come up and be amazing at the major league level. You see what Jared Kelenic, the guy that the Mets traded Robinson Cano, Edwin Diaz for, he struggled for 2 years. So the fact that Jared Kelenic is now hitting the ball better, it shows that, you got to face major league pitching to learn major league pitching. That's what you got to do. You got to do it, man. And I'm excited about, Francisco Alvarez. I'm excited that they're playing the kids, because you got to play the kids. You don't want to see Escobar in the lineup when you got a young Brett Beatty that's 23 years old and that can possibly play third base for you. I know that Brett Beatty isn't the best defensively, but he's getting better. And what he did in the offseason to train with Trey Tulowitzki, that shows initiative. That shows that he's doing, what he's supposed to do. He's getting better. He's trying his best to get better defensively and offensively as well. So, man, what I would say, yes, there are concerns about the Mets offense. Obviously, there are concerns. Mark Canha, We don't know what Mark Canha is really going to be this season. He's been pretty okay, subpar this year. He hasn't been great. He's had some big hits for the team, which is good for the New York Mets, but he just, he hasn't been great, for the New York Mets. So let's get into something that I want to talk about here, and that's Ronnie Mauricio playing second base. Is it the right move? Is it the right move here? You know, I love Ronnie Mauricio. What he brings to the table is a switch hitting shortstop. He brings power. He brings speed. I love Ronnie Mauricio. What he brings to the table, you would love to see it at the major league level. And he's raking at AAA, of course, because Ronnie Mauricio, is raking at AAA. Does he deserve the call up right now to the major leagues? I think he does. I think I would love to see Ronnie Mauricio and Francisco Lindor playing alongside each other. I love Francisco Lindor. And yes, Ronnie Mauricio is blocked with Francisco Lindor. And we have known this for a couple of years. We knew this was going to happen. We knew Ronnie Mauricio is going to be very important to the Mets' plans. If he's either going to get traded, for a big piece, and the Mets are going to get a big piece for him, or he's going to play second base, or maybe, recently what they done with Fernando Tatis, what they done with Jazz Chisholm, bring Ronnie Mauricio to the outfield. But it looks like the Mets don't want to bring Ronnie Mauricio so far to the outfield just yet. But second base, I think, is a good position for Ronnie Mauricio. I think shortstop is a commanding position. You gotta run the ball, you gotta throw the ball, you gotta really cover some ground. Second base, you have a little bit, it's a little bit easier to cover ground there, but you still got to cover ground as well at second base, because you got to cover, there's no shift now. There's no shift. So Ronnie Mauricio playing second base in the major leagues, I would love to see it, because we signed Jeff McNeil for 4 years or 5 years or whatever it is. But the fact that Jeff McNeil is so versatile, and Jeff McNeil could play left field, he could play right field, he could play the outfield. He doesn't need to play second base for the New York Mets all the time. So Ronnie Mauricio can play second base. He could be DH. That's what you want to see from Ronnie Mauricio. And I think this kid is very, very talented. I think he's very, very talented. And, he deserves to be, in the major leagues. I think he really deserves a chance to, get to that spot. I really think he does. Just gonna grab some water here, guys. Sorry, guys. I just had to grab some water. Talking a lot. But guys, definitely Ronnie Mauricio. Just imagine him in the lineup tonight for the New York Mets. Imagine Ronnie Mauricio in, second base instead of Luis Guillorme. Like, you would love to see it. You would love to see it because, Ronnie Mauricio was talented, man. He was one of the best prospects in baseball. He was one of the top 100. I don't know if he is now. I forgot. But because I know he went down a little bit in his prospect pool. But yeah, guys, definitely, wow. Yeah, Ronnie Mauricio. Yeah, I'd love to see it. But yeah, guys, let's get back into the lineup discussion here. Yeah, Brandon Nimmo, leading off. That's what you want to see from, that's what you want to see. You want to see, Brandon Nimmo leading off. That's good to see. You want to see Marte, playing right field. That's what you want to see. Lindor shortstop, Alonso. This lineup is pretty good. The only thing with the lineup is, Vogelback. A lot of Mets fans are craving for, Vogelback to get off this team. But if Vogelback does leave the Mets, if they do DFA him, they don't have a guy that's a lefty power hitter like Vogelback right now. So I think it's best that the Mets do keep Vogelback, in the lineup, But I would say personally, I would put Ronnie Mauricio in that spot as a DH, and hopefully he will, he will be good at the major league level. But that's what I think for sure. You guys, welcome to pregame live. Let's talk some Mets baseball. Welcome to Mets pregame live. Let's talk some Mets baseball. You got the Mets, you got the Giants. This is an exciting game. The Mets took the first two games of the series. Ross Stripling is going to pitch against the New York Mets. And you got Tyler McGill, who's 3-0 on the season, going for his fourth win. He's undefeated on the season, and hopefully he stays that way. You got Michael Conforto, you got Pete Alonso, so this game is going to be a good game by the New York Mets. I'm excited, and let's do it. Let's do it.